Well, Reuben Collins, how does it feel to have signed a professional contract with AFC Wimbledon?
Oh, well, it's a dream come true, to be honest. Ever since I was young, or ever since I could walk, I've always been kicking the ball around. And yeah, like I said, since I was young, I've had my heart and soul set on becoming a professional in this sport. And it's such a huge day for me and my family. It's very important to us. Firstly, well, today marks the start of my professional career, and secondly, the club that I've started my career at, because for me, I'm just so happy that I've started at this club. When I was 11 and Jeremy invited me down, the club welcomed me with open arms, and I think it's been so great ever since to be welcomed into this tight-knit community. Well, for me, I consider it a family, because I know whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch, I can come in, talk to Jeremy or any other, Jeremy, Robbo, James, and there's so many other staff members, fans, or even other people here that want to see me progress and want to see me develop as a person or a player. And yeah, I'm just so thankful to be given the opportunity, and once again, I'm just over the moon, to be honest.
Absolutely. Academy manager Jeremy Sawyer's with us as well. Jeremy, tell us about him. He's been with us at such a young age, hasn't he?
He has. What a great answer, by the way. That was good, wasn't it? It was passionate. I love that. It's hard to follow that, Reuben. Reuben's been with us since 11 years old. I actually knew Reuben before. I think you were like an under 7 or under 8. He was two in the Mitchell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we crossed paths again a little bit later about under 10s, under 11s. Is it fair to say, Rubes, that we always recognised that he had a fantastic attitude, really professional, really driven. The technical stuff was the area of development for you.
Yes,
you were always more the sort of one of the bigger boys in the group, and I think people from the outside might have looked at that and gone, "Oh, he's just a big guy." He's not. He's got a heart like a lion, and he's got a real good learning attitude to stuff. And technically, each year he's just got a bit better, a bit better, a bit better. And we're just delighted because he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's got the yellow and blue in his blood massively. And this isn't sentimental, the fact that he's getting a pro contract. He fully deserves it, and he's going to be a big part of this club in the future for sure. But it helps as well the fact that around the club people know him, and on match days people see him around, and the way you engage with people, Rubes, is just I think people already know your face and they already go, "Oh, I like that guy." So you represent a lot about what we want to try and do as an academy, as a club. So it's extra special today for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, Reuben, we've seen like it with Will Nightingale in the past. You've done all the jobs round the club on a match day. You've got that real appreciation for this club and its history now, haven't you?
Oh yes, definitely. I remember within the first year I've been at the club, I've fallen in love with it. Everything the club stands for, the passion and even the history of the club. Over the years I've learned it, and like Jeremy said, it's got to the point now it's second nature. I've got blue and yellow in my veins. But personally I'm just so happy to be given the opportunity, and hopefully in the future I can contribute towards the goal of the club to bring us back to the Premier League, even to be one of the boys out at Plough Lane. Or when we come home. But I'm just so happy to be at this club as well.
How important is that to you, the fact that the club is going to be moving back to Plough Lane and you're going to be a part of that?
I think that is so huge to me. I think, I remember speaking to Jonesy on match days, and he's always saying to me, "Oh, Rubes, come on, you can do this. I want to see you out there with the boys leading us out of Plough Lane." And that's hopefully my aim. I've been at the club for so long now, and you've got other players in the first team such as Will, Paul, Toby, Ant that understand what the club's about, and hopefully we can project the team forward and represent the academy, the club, the vision, and when we get back to Plough Lane, show everyone who the ones are.
Fantastic. Just to give the supporters a little bit of background about you, so just tell us a little bit how you got into football at such a young age.
To be fair, when I was very young, so when I was a toddler, my cousin used to take me out and we would kick a ball around and stuff like that. But yeah, ever since, I've just always wanted to play football. I remember driving past Tooting and Mitcham with my mum, And if this is when I was 6 or so, and I'd say, Mum, I'd see the community sessions going on there and I'd be, Mum, I want to play there, please take me. And thankfully my mum did, and she's been taking me every weekend. Well, now I'm old enough to drive, it's fine, but she was taking me all those weekends when I was younger. And I've enjoyed my football. I've always been passionate about it, and luckily enough, since I've joined Wimbledon, they've helped me hone my skills, learn my trade more, to give me this opportunity to actually pursue it in a career.
And in the academy structure, who would you say has really helped you over the years?
I think in recent years, big help from Jeremy, James and Robbo. I think these past 2 years, throughout the academy, throughout the younger age groups, I've been here for so long, there's so many people I could thank in terms of coaching and stuff. Throughout the years, they've helped me. Well, like Jeremy said, I was normally a bigger player, maybe less technical, but they've helped me develop over these years, even as a person. So on the pitch, they've developed me as a player, but even the past 2 years has been such a huge learning curve for me. I feel like if I look back a year ago, I feel like I've matured a lot as a person, and I think in the past 2 years, especially with the apprenticeship programme, which and the learning that Robert and James have put into place, and Jeremy overseas, I think it's really helped me a lot.
And a third of that first team now are academy players. How much is that an example to drive you onwards to try and get in there now?
For me, that it's such a big inspiration to see people that I've been either training with or playing with over the years now out there playing in front of all the fans every week, going on away trips, even playing against Premier League teams in the FA Cup. I think it's a huge inspiration for me. And even with Wooly and Glyn coming in now, they've been through the same process that we've been through, so they know, they can understand where we come from, so they're more willing to give us an opportunity if we're good enough. But I think it's a good pathway. The pathway's there, it's ever present, and hopefully I can get through that pathway like the other boys, and like they have done to me, I can do to the next generation of young dons.
Was that absolutely key to you, the fact that seeing that pathway through to the first team, that sort of really influenced your decision that you could get first team football here?
Oh yes, definitely. I think, like I said before, it's like a family here. So they've known, since I've been here so young, they've shown me that there is a pathway here. They are willing to nurture me as a player and a person so that I am ready for first team football and I can help progress the team. But even though I try to follow the example now, as in such the older boys, I may not be able to do it on such a big scale now, as I'm not in the first team yet, but I still talk to the younger boys around the training ground, and I'm just trying to help them through because I've been where they are, so hopefully I can do that in the future.
Reuben's been mentoring an under-13 centre-back this year, similar sort of profile of player, and Reuben gets one day off a week on a Sunday because he's at school the other time that he's not training, but on a Sunday morning he's often down the training ground watching this under-13 play and doing his little coaching points and just getting in his ear, and you've got little WhatsApp groups going and stuff like that, haven't you?
Yeah.
So in terms of that sort of stuff, like Reuben is second to none, it's unbelievable. And in terms of as a club and as an academy, it's an ideal model for how we want to try and move forward and how we want to try and promote that as a good practice, so that the rest follow as well. So, and we know that Reuben lives and breathes it. So when you ask the question around the pathway and the decision to stay here, I'm pretty sure I put words in your mouth here, but that was never even something across your mind. Because it's just yellow and blue.
Yeah, there was no question, to be honest. For me, this is where I wanted to be, this is where I want to start my career. And hopefully I shouldn't even have to move to another team in an ideal world, because I can progress the team back to the Premier League. But that's the main goal, as I'm sure any other Wimbledon fan would like to see.
That's great to hear, but also to say you've been out there, you've been training with the first team now, you've had to do a few forfeits too on that training pitch. What's Wally and Glyn said they want from you next time?
I think they just want to see me develop more in terms of heading is quite a big one. They've seen quite a few of the young boys throughout the academy. They've seen that they have not been able to head the ball as well as such as seasoned pros going around. So I think, well, at the end of the day, I am a centre-back, so I need to be able to clear my lines and do the defensive duties. So I think that's quite a big focus of mine. I consider it sort of a strength of mine as well, so that's quite a benefit. But also at the same time, I'm still young, I've got a lot to learn, and if I'm going to be coming up against seasoned pros, I need to make sure that I'm working hard, knuckling down every day and making sure that I'm developing these points. Physically, it's not too much of a gap between me and the first team now because I'm quite a big person, but I think it's just adapting to the speed of the game, the level of the game, and I think confidence as well. If I show everyone this is me, who I am, that hopefully they'll recognise it. But to be honest, I think the main thing for me at the moment is just I've achieved the first step in my career now. Now I just need to knuckle down, get my head down, focus on my development, and just show everyone what I can bring to the table. I think show the staff, the players, the fans, and hopefully achieve getting a break into the first team.
There are so many people who are going to be so happy to have seen you sign this professional contract. Commit your future to AFC Reuben. Congratulations, Reuben.
Thank you very much.